Hi, all. Well, as we have a few more stragglers coming in, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jennifer Warren, and I am Executive Director of Ladies Who Launch. And we are a nonprofit organization that supports women and non-binary small business owners. Um, Across the country, from urban communities to rural communities, and everywhere in between. And ultimately, we're focused on helping you all learn and find the resources to scale your businesses in ways that are meaningful for you. Um, each of us is different and each of us has our own journey. And so, fundamentally, we're all about making sure that you know what your options are, and you know how to access those options to support your growth. And so, with that, today, I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome, for an incredible conversation, Abby Malco, who is manager of small business partnerships at Amazon. Um, and this is actually, this week is my second anniversary at Ladies Who Launch. And, among the privilege of getting to work with small business owners and partners, it's a real joy getting to work with Abby. She is a true champion of each and every one of you. And she cares deeply about helping you all grow and finding the resources and the tools and the know-how to do so. Um, so a little bit about Abby. At Amazon, Abby develops and manages partnerships to help drive success for early stage entrepreneurs and small businesses. And she and her team do this through educational programs and through investments that support all of your growth. Um, and so Abby joined Amazon in 2018. And during her time at Amazon, she's supported entrepreneurs and small business owners in so many different ways, through her various roles and programs and initiatives, including creating the Military Entrepreneurship Program. She is a veteran, a retired US Navy chief and combat veteran, serving more than 20 years in the military. Abby, thank you. Deep, deep gratitude for your time, and your continued advocacy of both military veterans and their families. And then she's also done incredible work supporting the launch of Amazon's supplier diversity program. And, among the many, many things she's done since 2018 is she found her way to Ladies Who Launch, and we have been partnering together since 2022. Um, and really, we're focused on bringing practical, um, accessible learning and tools to you all. And, LWL, we would not be growing and able to serve you all without the incredible partnership, collaboration, and generosity of partners like Abby and Amazon. And so today we are going to talk about the perfect launch. And we're going to talk a little bit about, Abby's going to dive into the world of kind of like, once you're up and running on Amazon, what's next? Like, how do you really optimize your experience for success? We also we did an initial webinar with Abby that focused on getting up and running. So, that is available to you all. We'll share it after this as well, but you're going to learn a lot of great tips and tricks today. And then in addition to learning about kind of the processes to grow in your first 90 days plus, Abby has also generously offered to do a few small group coaching sessions after this webinar. So we'll send out the details for you all to sign up, but having kind of small group time with Abby, you do not want to miss it. So with all of that, Abby, just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your incredible, authentic, um, relentless championship of Ladies Who Launch and this community that's with us today. And without further ado, I will pass it over to you to dive in.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, and thank you for the kind intro. I do really enjoy working with the Ladies Who Launch community. It's been a lot of fun for me, and I love getting to meet small businesses and help small businesses. And I imagine there's quite a few of you in the audience here today, so I'm excited to talk to you today about this topic. So today's topic, we are going to be talking about perfect launch. The only caveat I have to this topic is this is very much specific to brand owners, not resellers. So for this, the perfect launch to be considered a perfect launch, you must be a brand owner and you must be new to Amazon. And how we define new to Amazon, it's usually you've just set up your account. You're probably within your first 90 days of selling in the store. And you're going to see as we go through this content why timing is critical to your success of selling an Amazon store. So with that, without further ado, we'll just go ahead and dive right in. Here's a quick look at the agenda. We will make sure that there's time for Q&A at the end, so don't worry about that. We're going to talk about what the perfect launch is, the importance of protecting your brand. We're also going to talk about A+ content, fulfillment by Amazon, automated pricing, advertising, which is a very popular topic. And then I'm going to share some additional resources at the end that we have at Amazon for small businesses. So, what is a perfect launch? So, it's pretty straightforward what perfect launch is. It's basically you have successfully enrolled in 5 of our selling programs, and all of these selling programs are what I'm going to discuss in this presentation. Within the 90 days of creating your first product listing, so this kind of goes back to my earlier point about timing being critical to your success. And what we have seen at Amazon, that our sellers who successfully achieve a perfect launch are 5.2 times more likely to generate $100,000 in first year revenue than other sellers. So, again, timing is critical to your success, as well as successfully leveraging these selling programs that I'm going to discuss here today. Let's talk about brand registry. This is probably one of my favorite topics. I always tell small businesses to not sell an Amazon store unless you have an active trademark first, because anyone can copy your product if you do not have a active trademark. And that's honestly one of the biggest key learnings I could probably share with you today, because believe it or not, a lot of people will start selling an Amazon store and they will not have an active trademark. So you must have an active trademark. Otherwise, anyone can duplicate your product under the exact same name. So, brand registry is a free service that Amazon provides where they will work to protect your intellectual property on your behalf. This is for folks who already have that active trademark that I mentioned. So, with brand registry, you can also create a virtual storefront through brand stores. I am going to talk a little bit about what a brand store is. And then again, you can also register intellectual property to protect your brand through our IP accelerator. So if you don't fret, if you don't have a trademark yet, an active trademark yet, we do have our IP accelerator service, which is basically a network of vetted law firms that have Amazon has pre-negotiated pricing with, and you will basically pay a flat rate to file for a trademark. But all of this can be found on brandservices.amazon.com. So if you don't have an active trademark yet, you can use the IP accelerator, but you definitely want to be enrolled in brand registry when you first set up your account, before you start selling in the store. So let's talk a little bit about it. To be eligible for brand registry, you must have a registered or pending trademark through the IP accelerator. Here on the screen, you can see 2 different versions of what that looks like. There's a text only trademark, which is the image you see on the top. And then there's a logo trademark, which is this Amazon smile that everyone's so used to seeing. So you need to have one or the other. The owner of the brand or the trademark will need to register through Seller Central, but again, you would do that as you're creating your seller account. So just keep that in mind. And you can have either one or the other, like I mentioned, a text-based or a logo-based, image-based trademark. Now, one of the key components or the key attributes, I should say, of Perfect Launch is our new seller incentives. It's hopefully you can see this on the screen, but I believe we'll probably be sharing this PowerPoint as a PDF anyways. But we have a couple new seller incentives specific to brand registry. For example, with brand registry, you can get a 5% bonus on your first 1 million in branded sales. And what you can see here on the right-hand portion of the screen is the eligibility criteria. Oftentimes, this you'll automatically be enrolled for these benefits based on, the information that you provide when you set up your account. And then another really cool benefit is Amazon Vine, which I'm going to talk about in the next slide. You get a $200 credit there, and that's a product review program that we have. And some of the criteria to be eligible for that is you must complete your Amazon brand registry and be identified as a brand owner no later than 6 months after listing your first viable ASIN. And I will talk about that on the next slide. So let's talk a little bit about Amazon Vine. Amazon Vine is a relatively newer program, but it's basically designed to help you earn product reviews, because what we've seen at Amazon is your first product review can increase your sales by 3.2 times. So it's very important to have product reviews, especially if you're a newer brand and people may not be aware of who you are as a brand. So in order to really build up that customer base, it's really important to have product reviews. So, how the program works is Amazon has basically this network of their most trusted reviewers in Amazon store. And what you would do once you set up your account is you can enroll in Vine. And what you do is you just provide your product for free to them, and they will review your product. So you can see here on the screen that if you enroll in the Amazon Vine program, you can get as many as 30 high quality customer reviews per product page, which is huge. 30 reviews is great. And Vine reviews have been shown to boost your sales by up to 30%. This is really important. And then again, to the eligibility criteria, because this is important as well, you must be to enroll in Vine. You must be enrolled in brand registry within 6 months of selling in the store. This should be hopefully an automatic criteria, because you wouldn't really set up your store anyways until you have that active trademark. And then you must be enrolled in Amazon Vine within 90 days of becoming a brand owner. So again, let's just say from a timeline perspective, you got your active trademark, you then create your Amazon seller account, you would automatically apply here. Okay, let's talk about A+ content. This is a very hotly debated sometimes topic. But I don't want you guys to get confused about what A+ content is. At first, I'll admit, even I was confused as to what A+ content is, but it's pretty straightforward. The image here on the screen kind of tells you everything you need to know. When you go to a product page on Amazon, you often see within the product description field just a bunch of text that describes what the product is. And let's face it, most of us may not always read the product description field, especially if it's for a product that we buy on a regular basis. So with A+ content, what you're doing is you're replacing the text within the product description field with imagery. And you can see here with the image on the page how that can increase your conversion, right? So there's templates already available within Seller Central. I think you can choose from up to 15 templates and modules, which will automatically help you build up that A+ content. And what it does is it lets you enhance those product listings and increase conversion, especially if you're a newer brand. You may want to make people aware of other products that you sell in the store, or you maybe want to make people aware of what differentiates you as a brand, what differentiates your product, right? And it's great to be able to summarize that through imagery. And what we have seen with A plus content is you can increase your sales by an average of 5.6%. So many people, when they first start selling an Amazon store, they probably are not going to have A plus content, but it's something that you're going to want to do to give yourself a bit of a more competitive advantage. So with A plus content, and this image is another really good example of what A plus content looks like. You can see here, like, oh, these cookies have zero sugar and they're keto friendly. And I don't have to read a bunch of text to know that I want to buy this product, right? So to get started, all you have to do is select the SKU and the module you want to add the content for. The review can take 7 business days or longer during peak season. And peak seasons for us are usually Prime Day, holiday, a second Prime Day. Who knows how many Prime Days we have at this point? But I would say that review can take a little bit longer than that, depending on peak seasons. Now, some of the best practices for approval to avoid editing and resubmitting your content, because let's face it, you don't want to do that. You want to have clear images that are visible on both desktop and mobile devices. You want to make sure it's free of spelling or grammatical errors. You don't want to contain specific pricing or promotion details because Amazon, no matter what you do, that you can never mention pricing or promotion details or any subjective commentary. You do not want to reference warranties, guarantees, customer service, websites, or contact information. And all of the A plus content guidelines are available within Seller Central. But again, just some tips there to avoid having to resubmit your content. Okay, now let's talk about fulfillment by Amazon. Many
Abby,
people, oh yeah, what's up?
can we pause and can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. When so one business owner's asked, we currently have an Amazon store and trademark submitted, but they didn't know about Vine. It's been more than 90 days. Are they still eligible for the program?
If it's been more than 90 days since, has it been more than, let's go back to that slide real quick. Has it been more than 90 days since they created their account or since they created their first product listing?
Um, let's see. Kara, can you drop your, yes, we were in the Amazon Black Business Accelerator.
Oh, they were in the Amazon Black Business Accelerator. And they did not know about Vine.
Yes.
Well, if they're in the Black Business Accelerator, they should have an account manager who would help them get product reviews. So
Okay.
they would need to definitely work with their account manager for that.
Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Kara, we have several. It has been challenging. Okay. Um, all right. Okay. Well, more on Vine. That's very helpful to know. A few other questions, Abby. So, would a short form video be considered prime content?
Yeah, well, we don't want to call that A plus content.
Okay.
But a video would be, for example, different from the product description. So if you're on a product page, you're going to typically see on the left-hand side like maybe 5 different images and a video. That's the ideal ratio. You want to have 5 high-res quality images, usually with a white background, and then 1 video. Typically we've seen more conversion with video, but that would not be within the product description field. That would just be visible on the product listing higher up on the page.
Okay, fantastic. And then let's see. Okay, so another business owner asked, so it sounds like you shouldn't sell on Amazon stores without an active trademark. Agreed. but you can't create a brand registry or use IP services unless you have a pending trademark. Is that correct, Abby?
With brand registry, you have to have an active trademark. You
Okay.
can, if you have it, yeah, you have to have an active trademark for brand registry. Let's say you don't have a trademark at all. You can use the IP accelerator, and from there, once your trademark is pending, then you would get the same benefits of brand registry. So the difference there is IP accelerator just accelerates the timeline for you, because it's basically Amazon's network of IP law firms, and they've already vetted them. So it kind of lets you sell on Amazon and get the same benefit, the same brand protection as you would just by using the IP accelerator service.
Awesome. So it sounds like IP Accelerator is a good way to kind of like start the process and get going. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Are we speaking of trademarks that are registered with the USTPO?
Correct. Yep, yep.
Okay, fantastic. And then let's see. Um, I used to sell books on Amazon a few years ago. Can I use the same account now to sell a different product, or should I create an entirely new account?
She used to sell books. Is the account still active? That's what I would want to know.
Joanne, is the account still active? Let's see. Let's see if
If her
we,
account's still active, then I would not create a new account.
okay, sounds great. And then last question before we move on. Yes, it is still
Okay.
active. Okay, Joanne, stick to that account then. Final question before we move on, and then we will do more Q&A at the end of today. Um, so just to clarify, Abby, you have to go through brand registry before being able to sell on Amazon, correct?
Well, you can sell, but I would never, if you're a brand owner, I would never sell on Amazon store unless you have that trademark, unless you're enrolled in brand registry. So
Okay.
for Perfect Launch to really apply to you, you have to be enrolled in brand registry as one of the programs. And to be enrolled in brand registry, you must have that trademark.
Okay, fantastic. All right, back over to you, Abby, and we will hold the rest of the questions until the end of the session.
No worries. And I know it's a lot of content, but thankfully we're going to have some office hours too as well. So let's talk about fulfillment. Most of us, hopefully, maybe are Prime members. We love our 2-day or 1-day shipping. What we have seen is typically, on average, small businesses who enroll in Fulfillment by Amazon, we call it FBA to make it easy, they typically see an increase from 20 to 25% on average in their sales. So it is going to help you set you up for better success. I think, not personally, the data shows it. When you enroll in FBA, because most people want that 1-day, that 2-day shipping. So let's just talk a little bit about what FBA is. So with FBA, Amazon picks, packs, and ships your orders. It does give you that Prime logo on your product pages. Products are eligible for Prime shipping. Customers definitely get the trusted customer service and returns. So what Amazon does is they also do all of your customer service and returns for you. They do everything. They pick, pack, ship. They do your customer service and returns. The only thing that you do is you ship your products to the fulfillment center, and Amazon will tell you what fulfillment center to ship it to. And I know we always get a ton of questions around this. You do not need to send in thousands of units in FBA. In fact, less is more when you're first starting out. What you want to make sure to help set you up for better success is you want to make sure that you can replenish that inventory in a quick manner, because you never want to run out of stock, but you don't need to have thousands of units in FBA. So a lot of people seem to think that, but think about the more you have in a fulfillment center, the more you're going to pay for storage costs. So, and like I mentioned, on average, sellers typically see a 20 to a 25% increase in their sales after adopting FBA. So getting started, it's pretty easy. You just go through your to Seller Central once you have obviously created your account, and you'll decide what products you want to enroll in FBA. If you're starting with one product, that's fine. If you're starting with two, that's great. I always typically recommend when you're first starting out selling an Amazon store. Let's say you already have your own website, you already have your own products that you're selling. Always start by selling your most popular products first. Don't sell your entire catalog right away. I think when you're first starting out, you definitely want to sell your highest selling or your most popular selling, what you see the greatest volume with. Okay. You then select FBA in product details. And you'll select that versus fulfillment by merchant. And then you'll prepare and you ship your products. Amazon will tell you what the packaging, what the labeling criteria is in order for it to be accepted into FBA. And then once Amazon checks your products in to the fulfillment center, the items are available for customers to buy. So you want to make sure that you stay on top of your inventory because once you start selling an Amazon store, you're ready to get discovered by a larger audience. So you just want to make sure that you're maintaining healthy stock levels. And if you are running low on inventory, that you can replenish that inventory in a quick manner, because you don't ever want to run out of stock. This goes back to supply chain also being critical to your success. So making sure you have that established supply chain is essential. Now we do have new seller incentives for fulfillment by Amazon. Fulfillment by Amazon, you will get 120 days of free storage on 100 units. You also get 180 days of free liquidation. And then with our partnered carrier program, the partnered carrier program is basically a shipping solution created by Amazon just for FBA sellers. What that does is it provides cost-effective rates. So it helps you for be able to get cost-effective rates to ship those products to a fulfillment center. So it's basically working with different third parties that Amazon has negotiated rates with, to get to be able to ship your products to a fulfillment center. So with that, you get about $100 off on inbound shipping. We also have our global logistics. This is for people who are probably getting their products from overseas because all of this is ocean transportation, and then custom brokerage services that Amazon provides for FBA sellers. So again, if you're shipping your products from overseas, definitely look into the Amazon Global Logistics Program. All right, let's talk about automated pricing. Automated pricing, it's unique. It basically allows you to set price limits that will automatically adjust in comparison to your competition. It's really super straightforward, not too difficult to digest, I promise. So what you'll do is you'll want to set a min and a max price. The barbecue sauce you see here on the page is a really good example. Now, what this does, it allows you to maintain control of your price points, and also helps you become selected as the featured offer, which can accelerate your sales by up to 50%. So, how you can understand the featured offer is right here on the image. You can see that this Rufus Teak barbecue sauce over on the right-hand side of the screen, they became the featured offer for this barbecue sauce or for similar barbecue sauce, by having the most competitive price. So let's say you want to sell barbecue sauce in Amazon store and you want to be the featured offer, which is at the very top of the screen here on the right hand side. You would just make sure that you're adjusting your prices to automatically adjust. Let's say you want to offer it for $11.95, but your competitor wants to offer it for $12. You would win the featured offer, right? So it's just a little a little strategy to make sure that you can become the featured offer. And what you see here on the bottom right is Amazon will suggest similar barbecue sauces or same barbecue sauces from other sellers. So it just allows you to be at the top of those listings. And this is a little GIF here or GIF. Gosh, I don't really know the proper way to pronounce that. But what it does is you go into your Seller Central account and you create your own custom pricing rule. You can kind of see that here on the screen. There's a little mouse that shows you how to do it. And then you select the SKUs that you want to enroll and set the limits for. Within the tool, you can also monitor your price updates through the automated pricing page. So it's very simple and straightforward um, in order to win the featured offer. All right, let's talk about advertising. This is always one of my favorite topics. Um, so with advertising, there's quite a few ways to tackle this. You will obviously at some point need to advertise on Amazon. You want to make sure that you're reaching shoppers who are looking for products such as yours. When people shop on Amazon, they're always going to look for the product first and not the brand. So it's very important that you sponsor your product first. And we're going to get into a little bit of what that looks like. Suggested products or sponsored products are 46 times more likely to be clicked on if advertised. Think about how you shop on Amazon. I think I just bought cat proof plastic covering yesterday on Amazon. And I looked for literally what was the top of the search results, what was the highest rated, what was the most cost effective. And that's how I made the decision to buy the product I was looking for. So again, you're 46 times more likely to be clicked on if you advertise. So small businesses who use Amazon ads, they attribute 30% of their sales to the ads. Now we are going to talk too about running deals and offering coupons, which also will help increase your conversion. So it's very simple with advertising. You can create your campaign in as little as 5 minutes. There is no moderation required to create your advertising campaign. You can select your budget and strategy. The typical advice we give here is a $10 budget. And what we suggest too is making sure you run that ad campaign 2 to 4 weeks on a 24/7 basis, because what that does, it allows you to build up some good data to see what people are clicking on and when. It helps you gain metrics and insights that you're going to need to then readjust, and optimize your advertising strategy. You can leverage automatic product and keyword targeting, and then you can control your costs and measure success. All of this is within Seller Central. There's so much data within Seller Central that's going to be super helpful and insightful to help you optimize your advertising strategy. Okay, so sponsored products, like I mentioned, most people when they shop in Amazon store, they look for the product first. So it makes sense to definitely start with sponsoring your product. The image you see here on the right-hand screen is a good example of what that looks like with the teddy bears. So it basically improves the visibility, like I mentioned, of different individual products. It is cost per click, so you only pay for what people click on, and it will appear in shopping results and search pages. And products are featured in relevant search queries. For example, if I'm looking for a stuffed bear or a teddy bear, what is sponsored is going to populate first. So, and that's what's going to show you where what you have targeted for your keywords. So, if I have, let's say, I'm targeting certain keywords like stuffed bear, teddy bear, plush bear, I would obviously want to advertise for those search queries. Now let's talk about sponsored brands. I kind of mentioned this briefly earlier in the presentation. Once you enroll in brand registry, you can create a brand store. And what a brand store is, it's an all-in-one shopping destination where you can showcase your brand and all of the different products you sell. And you can also share a little bit more about your story, who you are as a company, and what makes you unique as a brand. So definitely I recommend, if you are a brand owner, and hopefully you are, if because this is what this information is targeted towards, you definitely want to create a brand store because you can sponsor your product and then you can also sponsor your brand. So when you go to Amazon, and we always use teddy bears as our example because it's simple. And let's say you type in teddy bear, the very first thing you're going to see at the top of the page is the sponsored brand store. That's the image you see right here on the screen. What's really cool about the sponsored brand is you can create custom headlines, images, and videos. And you can also feature, let's say you sell multiple types of teddy bears. You can feature multiple types of teddy bears in one banner ad. And similar to sponsored products, they're cost per click, so you only pay for what people click on. All right, let's talk about promotions and coupons. Personally, me, I love a good coupon. And it's much more likely for me going to influence my purchasing decision on Amazon. I'm just speaking from a personal perspective here, but everyone likes to save money. So if you're trying to increase conversion, increase product sales, you definitely can also have the opportunity to run promotions, and you can still do this while maintaining your margins and your inventory. Obviously, it's up to you, the business owner, to determine what those margins are, what your pricing strategy should be, where you can price your product, what kind of promotion or discount you can provide. It will appear on Amazon.com deals page as well as your individual product listing page. There's three types that you can do. You can offer a percentage off. You can do buy one, get one free, which I typically don't see that too frequently on Amazon. I mostly see percentage off as well as the coupon. So like you can get $2 coupon or you can do like 10% off. And you can offer free shipping. It's important to keep in mind that people who shop on Amazon may not be enrolled in Prime. And therefore, when you offer your free shipping for your product, you're able to increase conversion for those folks who are not enrolled in Prime, but may want to buy your product because everybody loves free shipping, right? And you can also offer digital coupons, like I mentioned, through money off or percentage off. So you can say, oh, I'm going to offer $2 off or 10% off. And you can select your discount, your budget, and your offer duration for up to 90 days. Now we also have subscribe and save. This is very specific to product categories. So think about consumable, anything that's a consumable product like protein powder or tea or skincare products. You can see right here on this screen that eligible product categories include beauty, grocery, health, and baby care. What this does, and I personally, I am not a subscribe and save person, but you can offer regular scheduled deliveries and savings to earn loyal repeat customers. So let's say you buy the same protein powder. Amazon already knows how often you are going to buy that protein powder. Let's say you buy it on a monthly basis. What it does is it automatically ships that protein powder to you every single month at a discount, and you don't have to go in and manually reorder it. So on all subscription orders for 5 or more units, Amazon adds another 5% discount to the order for a limited time. So again, it's just a way to make sure that you're going to help keep your loyal repeat customers satisfied while still being able to convert the people who may not be a loyal repeat customer yet through the subscribe and save discount. Here are some new seller incentives that we have for advertising. You will get a $50 credit for sponsored products. The criteria on the right is you must launch a sponsored product campaign within 90 days of listing your first buyable ASIN. ASIN is just an acronym for an Amazon stock identification number. For coupons, you can get a $50 credit if you create a coupon within 90 days of listing your first ASIN. All right, let's talk about some additional resources that we have for small businesses here at Amazon. So we have Amazon Handmade. I always like to make people aware of this program. It is for artisans. So let's say you're a person who makes a handmade or a hand altered product. Think of this as like Etsy, for example. This is Amazon's artisan community of sellers. We have artisans from over 80 countries that are selling within Amazon Handmade. It is an application-based program, but the coolest perk of the program is Amazon will waive the $39.99 professional selling fee each month if you're accepted into the program, and all you pay is a 15% referral fee. Another great benefit of the program is you can create a brand store, like I mentioned, where you can showcase who you are as an artisan, as well as other products that you make as an artisan. So again, it's just creating that all-in-one shopping destination. Now, we also have our Amazon Small Business Academy. This is a free digital resource that we recently relaunched earlier this year. It's more educational in nature and it's really designed to help small businesses no matter where they're at in the business life cycle. So, if you're just ideating, we have content for you. If you're looking to scale, we have content for you. This is not Amazon specific content. I do want to call that out. This is more generalized, like, hey, how do I find access to funding, or how do I create a business plan? This it's more or generalized educational content, and we work very, very closely with the Collegiate Entrepreneurs Organization, which is a nonprofit with hundreds of faculty experts on entrepreneurship across the U.S. To create this education. Again, it's free. Purely digital. You can join live sessions, you can join on-demand sessions, but all of this is available at smallbusiness.amazon. We also have our Founders Table event series. That is a part of our Amazon Small Business Academy. That is a virtual event series, and we do them about on a quarterly basis. And then for each episode, which I also host these as well, by the way. What I do is I typically interview a business expert. You can see here on the screen that Arlen Hamilton, that was our most recent episode. I interviewed her. She's the founder of Backstage Capital. And then I always interview a local small business owner because we like to rotate the cities that we visit. And we also too make sure that we provide Ask Me Anything sessions. And then we also do topic driven networking sessions in small group topic driven networking sessions for each episode. You can watch them on demand, like I mentioned, it's primarily virtual on smallbusiness.amazon. We also have our This is Small Business podcast. This is really designed to be more inspirational, more educational in the sense that we interview different small business owners to help them share what worked for them as a small business, what didn't work for them as a small business, and it's designed to be, again, more speaking from their experience as a small business owner. It's not Amazon specific, so it is pretty popular. I believe we just started our third season of the podcast. And in April of this year, it was rated the #1 podcast for entrepreneurs on Apple Podcasts. So definitely recommend checking it out. We have our Black Business Accelerator. I know we already had a question from someone who is a member of the Black Business Accelerator or has been accepted into the program. So congrats to you on that. This was launched back in 2021. This is for certified Black-owned product-based businesses. You must be certified to be eligible for this program. And what this does is Amazon works with you to help provide access to financial support, business guidance, mentorship. They're going to help you basically, hopefully, set you up for success selling an Amazon store. And then they also provide marketing and promotional support as well. Now, we mentioned a couple of instances where you may want to use a service provider, such as the IP Accelerator, or let's say you're shipping from overseas, you want to work with a partnered carrier. In some ways, you may want to work with a service provider, especially if you're trying to scale. That's super helpful as well. We do have a service provider network. Many people don't know this, but this is mostly available to folks who are already selling an Amazon store. And it's a bunch of different qualified service providers across 20 market segments. So it's a pretty big reach. And then what you do is you just go in there, you look for the service that you need. Let's say you need digital photography or marketing support. You can just look for a service provider that provides that type of support and then directly negotiate with that service provider. So it's just a great way to help you identify support when you're looking to scale, especially. This is all available at amazon.com/SPN. Now we have Amazon Lending. This is business financing that we have for eligible small and medium-sized businesses here in the US. The biggest caveat I will call out here is you must be selling in Amazon store for a minimum of 1 year to be eligible. But in 2022, Amazon provided lending to our selling partners over $2.1 billion. So that's a pretty hefty amount. And I've also met with quite a few small business owners who do sell an Amazon store who have received this access to this funding. And it's very easy to repay back the financing. It just comes out of your Amazon sales. And it's a very simple, straightforward financing option. And if you can also check your eligibility in Seller Central within the growth tab to see if you qualify for any business financing through this program. Now, I kind of talked about some of the core programs you want to be enrolled in to help you achieve perfect launch. But if you're looking to dive deeper on these topics, I recommend Seller University. This is a benefit that you will have, I imagine, for those of you who've already set up your Seller Central account. There's webinars and content that you can join within Seller Central. If you haven't yet set up your seller account, don't worry. They also have a YouTube channel where you can filter by topic. But the biggest benefit of this program is being able, I think, being able to join the live webinars that they do, and they have a Q&A. They do a very robust Q&A session, at least 20 minutes for each webinar, but it's very topic specific. So, for example, one they'll do a webinar specifically on advertising, and you can just ask the subject matter experts on advertising whatever question you may have regarding advertising. So it's a great benefit for those who are already selling an Amazon store. And here's just a quick snapshot of some of our small business partners. Ladies Who Launch is one of them. We also work with the Institute for Veterans and Military Families, the Collegiate Entrepreneurs Organization, like I mentioned. We work with SCORE, the Small Business Digital Alliance through the SBA, and we also work with Hello Alice. And the list keeps growing, so stay tuned. Now, before we dive into Q&A, I would love it if everyone could take a quick screenshot or scan the QR code here on the screen and provide your feedback for today's presentation. I always want to make sure that I'm providing high quality and helpful information for you, and we take your feedback very, very seriously. So please be sure to share your feedback. And with that, I think we'll dive right into Q&A.
Awesome. Yes, please, everyone, be sure to share feedback. Abby practices what she preaches. She's always looking for feedback to make these more helpful. So much information. Thank you, Abby. This is incredible. I think every time I listen to you speak, I'm more and more in awe of kind of like the array of programs, services, and supports that are offered. Okay, so let's dive into a few questions. Let's see. Here we go. They're in both the chat. So, all right, here we go. This is from Sarah Patino. I was in the Nest Business Accelerator. I'm selling via Amazon Handmade. I'm not sure if I can or if I should switch.
To switch to sounds like she's already selling in Handmade.
Yes.
What is she trying to switch to? Just Amazon.com regular and get out of Handmade, or?
Sarah, are you looking to switch to just Amazon.com? Drop it in the chat. Okay, we will come back to that. Okay, let's see. I'm a brand owner and it's a new niche learning kit. So let's see. I am a brand owner and it's a new niche learning kit. How do we know if the price is right? Abby, do you have any recommendations around how to do kind of like competitor research?
Yeah, I wish I could provide more marketing advice here. I would say it definitely helps to look at the competitive landscape on Amazon and see if there are similar products that exist on Amazon and what their pricing is. I think it would also be helpful to know how you're differentiating yourself from what's already being provided and making sure that you're clearly communicating what differentiates you from what's already being offered on Amazon. As far as pricing goes, that's really up to you, the business, and what you want that strategy to be. But definitely do some research as to what's already on Amazon.
Okay, amazing. Um, and then I guess, I mean, this is a similar question. How do you have any recommendations, Abby, around, I mean, Amazon is massive. Um, and how would you like, do you have any guidance around like how to define a competitor? So like if I was a candle company, for example, like would I go and try to find other candle companies that are a similar price point? Do you have any ideas around that?
Yeah, I think it's important to keep in mind that as a brand owner, you're already, I hopefully, differentiated. So that alone is going to give you a little bit of a competitive advantage. I agree that product category dictates your success a lot because beauty is one of the most saturated categories, as an example. And I always see so many people making skincare products, and they're failing because there's so many skincare products that exist out there. I think it's a hybrid. If you want to appear first in the search results, it's really a hybrid of so many factors. Do you have a brand store? Are you enrolled in FBA? Are you advertising? Do you have 4-star product reviews? Are you using A+ content? It is a bit of trial and error once you start to get to where you want to be. So you just have to be patient with the process. I know that's not like what everyone wants to hear, but it's not a get rich quick scheme whatsoever. It does take a little bit of trial and error to set yourself up for success.
Sounds good. No, we all wish there was a quick fix, but
I know. I
fortunately
know.
there's not. Um, Maria M asked, what about hand poured candles? Would handmade be good for that? I would say yes, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Would a florist count as an artisan business?
Um, as a handmade business, I guess it depends on what type of florist they are, because there are florists who do sell on Amazon. You can get floral bouquets on Amazon. Are you making dried arrangements? Are they fresh arrangements? I think it depends on what type of arrangements you're selling. And I would also, again, look at the competitive landscape on Amazon for those types of products.
Awesome. Um, in terms of FBA shipping, um, there kind of are a handful of questions around like general tricks and tips. Are the warehouses heat controlled? I would assume yes. Um, uh, I am UPC ready, but should they be scannable or should I bubble wrap the products? If I had kind of these types of questions, Abby, where would you send me to go? Should I go?
I would say, I don't know if my colleague Dan is on this meeting, but I would definitely, once you are going to enroll your product in FBA within Seller Central, they're going to have all of the criteria on there on what you need to do to be able to have your products received and processed in a fulfillment center. I would go to sell, don't quote me on this, but I would just go to sell.amazon.com, and believe it's / FBA, which should give you more information on that. As far as like the packaging criteria, the barcode, the labeling, it is pretty specific what they need you to do, but they make sure they clearly communicate that with you once you start the process.
Fantastic. Um, and Abby, I think many of us on the phone were super excited when we heard that there was going to be a woman-owned business label coming down the pipe. Do you have a sense of, actually, I wonder if it was a Black business? Is there a woman business? Um,
Yeah, there is unfortunately not a women-owned badge.
there is Black
There is
business.
a Black-owned business product badge. I would say that I can't give you a timeline for that, but obviously Amazon is looking into hopefully having that, but I just can't give you a timeline
Okay.
to that.
Okay. That's fair. Things outside of our control. Uh, does Amazon have a minority and women-owned accelerator outside of the Black Business Accelerator?
Unfortunately, they don't at this moment, which is why
Um,
we're trying to be intentional in working with organizations like
Partners.
Ladies Who Launch.
Yes.
Yep, yep.
Yes. And I would say, to that question, if you go onto Ladies Who Launches website, we have a grant database that lists all types of opportunities, and we will be building it more to include other programs. But if you go and you look on our social media, we actually posted our monthly grant roundup on social media, which includes accelerators and programs like the Tory Burch Fellowship Program, which is kind of just that. So take a look there. And to Abby's point, um, that's why they support organizations like Ladies Who Launch so that we can do the work we do. Um, let's see. For Black business certification, does a certification through the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce work?
I wouldn't be comfortable saying yes or no, but I would go to the Black Business Accelerator website because it does list the certifications that they accept.
Fantastic. Thank you. Um, Amazing. I just want to tell you, Abby and Ayana, thank you for saying this. Your voice, Ayana shared, your voice puts me in mind of Brene Brown, and I plus one that so much. Ayana, you have no idea how true that is. Abby is a small business whisperer, so to speak. Okay. Um,
Now I need to know what she sounds like. I don't think I've ever heard her speak.
um, let's see. I am a Black business owner and a handmade. Can I enroll in both? So can I be in Amazon Handmade and Amazon.com?
Amazon, like I'm guessing she's trying to say, can I be enrolled in Black Business Accelerator and
And
Handmade?
Handmade.
I don't see why she couldn't. It depends on but Amazon Handmade is an application-based program. So my recommendation is, depending on where she's at, is to apply to the Black Business Accelerator first. And if
Okay.
she's accepted into that program, she will be assigned an account manager, and they should ideally um, then direct her on, hey, yeah, it would make sense for you to apply to Handmade. So, but it sounds like she's in BBA and Handmade, which does make sense. I don't see why you couldn't be in both.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, I want to be hyper respectful of everyone's time. It is 5:01 p.m. If we did not get to your question, within the next 24 hours, we will be sending you an email with with the time for Abby's office hours. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that because you don't want to miss those incredible opportunities. You know, as mentioned, Abby is here to answer your questions, so sign up. And we will also be sending along the recording in the next day or two. So you might receive one or two emails from us, but many more resources to come. And Abby, thank you again for your time today, for your championship of this amazing community of small business owners. And we look forward to seeing you all again soon. And again, this is the beginning, not the end of our journey together. So thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Abby.
Bye all.